taking a second wife or plural marriage, would that require the consent of the first wife if he's taking a second wife, the first and the second wife if he's taking a third, and so on? No. The validity of the marriage does not rely on the consent of the wife. Yet, there are some very firm and important terms and conditions that should be met, such as, number one, al-ba'a, to be able to support both wives financially and to be able to fulfill their rights in bed. That is the meaning of al-ba'a, both the physical and the financial means. And there is another condition. These two conditions are the original conditions for getting married even for the first time. يا معشر الشباب من استطاع منكم الباءة فليتزوج ومن لم يستطع فعليه بالصوم فإنه له وجاء أي وقاء. If the person decided to take a second wife, then there is another condition which is very important. That is al-adala, to treat them equally, to be fair and just in their treatment. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He limited the number of women who may be taken in marriage, in plural marriage, please mark down what I said. I said limited the number. Islam did not allow polygamy or plural marriages. Islam rather limited the number of the wives which a person may have at the same time. Ghilan, one of the companions, As-Sulami, was married to 10 women. When he accepted Islam and he came to the Prophet ﷺ to accept Islam, he said, you may keep 4 وَفَارِقْ سَائِرَهُنْ, and you have to divorce or separate the rest. The maximum number is 4. And it happened with more than one companion before, which indicates that Islam came to limit and restrict the number. In any case, if a person decided to do so, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa in ayah number 3, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُمْ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَى وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ فإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم ذلك أدنى ألا تعولوا. The ayah says that if any of you have orphans, female orphans, girls, whom you're raising, this orphan is not your daughter. Now she grew up and you want to marry her, you got to pay her her rights exactly like every other girl who has a big family and so on. Not because you adopted her or you supported her, you can take her in marriage without giving her any rights. No, do not take advantage of that. If you're not interested in giving her her rights, and if you think that she's not worth it, please find another wife somewhere else, other than the orphan. Masna wa thulatha wa ruba'. You're allowed to marry a second and a third and a fourth wife, with this very firm condition. فَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةً أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. Then one is enough. And remember that the Prophet ﷺ was married to Khadija radiallahu anha when he was 25 years old, and she was 40 years old. She was 15 years older than him, and she was his wife until she passed away, and he did not take another wife. Simply there was no need. Simply there was no need. So basically Islam allows it whenever the conditions are met, and whenever there are certain reasons that require so. I put a post on my Facebook page pertaining the story of the kid whom I have seen in Ramadan, and I have got a lot of comments and likes and shares on it. And this kid was very intelligent, mashallah, la quwwata illa billah. I liked him so much. When I came to find out that he was memorized to half of the Quran and half of Al-Bukhari or Muslim and maybe 10 other books, very educated, and he was only 10 years old. And he said, can I be your friend? I said, of course, I would love to be your friend. He was so intelligent and outspoken. Then I wanted to thank his father for the way he raised his son. I said, where is your dad, Habibi? He said, Well, my dad has passed away. So I was actually shivering and I felt like I want to cry. So I hugged him tight and I said, from now on, you're my best friend, and so on. And we kept in touch. I figured out that a single mother, a widow, who is raising all her children like that, who's supporting them, who's taking care of them, financially, emotionally, physically, staying with them at home, doing their homework, the mother is doing all of that. So when somebody looks at a family like this and says, well, I would like to be with the Prophet ﷺ in paradise like these two fingers. In the hadith, أَنَا وَكَافِلُ الْيَتِيمِ فِي الْجَنَّةِ كَهَاتَيْنِ, like these two fingers, very close, the index and the middle. How could one achieve so? How could I go to this widow's house and stay with them and look after their needs, take care of the kids, and check on whoever is sick amongst them, and if they have a finance to study with them, and support them financially while I'm very close? The solution is marriage. And who would really be interested in marrying a woman with 5 or 6 children? She's an older woman and have many kids. None. Maybe 1 or 2. And there is already a very high rate of unmarriageable, the unmarriageable rate of women and girls who are not being married. They have reached the marriageable age and they didn't get married yet. Now they're 30, 40, and 40 and above 40, and the number is on the rise. So when somebody who can afford to sponsor this family, and he has a legitimate reason to enter into this house, look after the children, especially if there are girls, and he will feel that it is legitimate and it is halal. So this is one of the reasons. One of the reasons. We have some cases where the wife cannot conceive. These are live cases, and the family says, you got to divorce her. This is very common in India, in Pakistan, in Egypt, in Bangladesh, in the Arab world. Why? Because she cannot conceive. You know, if it was his fault, or medically he cannot impregnate his wife, they would bury the case. But if it was a woman, oh, you have to divorce her to get married so that you have an offspring. You don't have to divorce her. You can get married again. It is legitimate. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed what's good, and He prohibited what's bad and what's evil. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to what's best.